So rounding out the last bit of our trip, we went to Chiang Mai. Now, Chiang Mai is absolutely beautiful, and you've probably heard from many people if you've been doing your research that it is a must-see spot in Thailand. So Chiang Mai is sort of up in the countryside of northern Thailand. It's a really beautiful spot. The city has lots of things to do. It's not too isolated, so there's lots of places to stay, lots of places to eat. There were a lot of cool bars we went to that were hosting parties there. We met a lot of cool new friends there, but it is well worth it. It is a beautiful city. There's beautiful landscapes, beautiful nature, and one of the things that you must do when you're in Chiang Mai, Thailand is spend a day with elephants. Now, I say this with no exaggeration. The day that we spent with elephants was literally one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my entire life. It was such a surreal experience being around these elephants. Now, there were a couple full-size elephants, which was like almost kind of intimidating at the beginning, but we ended up feeding them. They were very nice. They're very gentle. They're kind of like gentle giants. But most of the day, we got to spend with the baby elephants, and this was an absolutely incredible experience. We kind of first got to know them in a field. We were feeding them bananas. There were these little rice ball snacks that some of the guides had made that they gave to us that we were feeding to the baby elephants, and they were super cute. It was a lot of fun hanging out with them. So we started out by just getting to know them. The elephants get familiar with you, and then we do a little bit of a hike with them. So we hike up this kind of mountainous area, and then we go up to this sort of little hut area where we just hang out with them, we feed them some more, and take some pictures, take some video. And then from there, we hike down to the river and pond where we got to sort of bathe with them. They give us brushes so we can like brush them in the water. It was like hanging out with like little kids. They were like flopping around in the water. It was super cute. And we just had a blast doing it. It was so cool. Before we knew it, the day was already over and we had to say goodbye to the elephants, which was sad. But if you go to Chiang Mai, make sure that you spend a day with elephants. Now, another side note to really keep in mind that's very important is if you find any elephant tourism companies that are offering to let you ride the elephants, do not partake in this. They do not treat the elephants well. They abuse the elephants sometimes, and it's actually not good for the elephants to have you ride on their back. Now, what you want to do instead is find an elephant sanctuary, which is where we went, and those are places that rescue elephants and take care of them. So make sure that you understand that distinction and make sure you go to an elephant sanctuary, not any kind of elephant tourist riding situation. Last but not least on our Thailand trip was somewhere that was 3 hours north of Chiang Mai, which is the beautiful mountainous region of Pai. Pai was easily the most beautiful part of our trip. It was a very, very rural mountainous area of northern Thailand. We stayed in this amazing little hut that was in this small little community. It had a little pool. We were a 10-minute walk from town. The food there was incredible. The people there were so kind. It was absolutely beautiful, but it is a very small town. So keep that in mind when you're traveling there. Now, when you're in Pai, I would highly, highly recommend to rent a scooter and have a scooter the whole time that you're there, because it is a larger area sort of geographically, so you want to make sure that you can see as much as you can, and you're just not going to be able to do it on foot. You're going to want to take your scooter throughout the town, check out some of the shops, some of the food, some of the cool places they have to offer, some of the markets there. But what is even cooler about Pai is more of the nature areas that you can go to. Now, I can't remember the name of it, but there is a waterfall that you can get to. You can ask any of the locals, they'll be able to tell you where it is. And it was one of the coolest parts about being in Pai. We drove up there, it didn't take that long at all, and we brought our swimsuits, and you can just jump into this cool little pool that has a waterfall coming down. It has a beautiful view of the valley. Well worth it if you're going up there. Now, one other spot that you must see before you leave Pai is Pai Canyon. This is so beautiful. It is this sort of like red rock kind of canyon look to it. It has all these little trails that you can walk through. And if you're going up there, the best time to go is sunset. That's when we went, and it was absolutely gorgeous up there. It's such a cool thing to see. There's lots of trails you can walk around on, and it's a really cool place to spend an evening. So Chiang Mai, Thailand, a must do while you are there.